Hare Krishna, dear friends, dear devotees. Welcome to the part 6 of our online mini course, Excuses and Our Success. Today we will speak about how to deal with our excuses. So, as you remember in our previous sessions, in our last session, we spoke about confronting our excuses. How to confront our excuses in a practical way. For example, you can write down your excuses honestly. If you're not sure what excuses you are making, you can ask your friends, people who live with you, your family members, your spouse, your children, and they will help you to identify what are your excuses. So it's very important to first confront our excuses, become aware of them, and then we can deal with them successfully. So my question to you is, how do you already deal with your excuses? What are your techniques? What are your ways to discuss, to confront your excuses or to deal with your excuses? If you will be so kind, so please share in the comments below this video after it is published how you already deal with your excuses, so we can also learn from you. I will give you a couple of ideas also how to deal with your excuses in today's short session. For example, you can how to write down excuses, how to confront them. You can write down my excuse for doing this or that, so you can name what are you doing. For example, I always give the example of chanting. So my excuse for not chanting my rounds attentively is, and then you say. So this is excuse for not doing something, or something that we want to do or we should do. Or you can have a sentence which describes this excuse that you are doing something you shouldn't be doing. My excuse for eating late in the night is this. So by starting your sentence with my excuse is, you're already doing a very, honest step. And this is the step that you are admitting that you are making excuses. Now, for some people, this is hard enough. They cannot admit that they are doing excuses. They make excuses for excuses. But if you say, my excuse for doing this or for not doing this is, so you are already admitting honestly and openly that you make excuses. Now another, of course, when you clearly define your excuse, then you can work to eliminate it. So what do we want to do with our excuses? Actually, we want to eliminate them. We don't want to keep them. We don't become aware of our excuses because we want to keep them, because we want to make friends with them. No, we deal with our excuses because we want to get rid of them. We want to eliminate them. Now this is a little bit, like strict approach to excuses, but there is another softer approach to excuses. You can start a sentence which is something like a prayer, my dear excuses. So what would you like to ask your excuses as if they were persons? My dear excuses, please go away. My dear excuses, please leave me alone. My dear excuses, I don't want you in my life. My dear excuses, just disappear. So, one who is very, one who is bold, brave, he will confront his excuses or her excuses. He will write them down. He will look at them. And now, one also very powerful way to deal with excuses is to discuss them with your friend, with your coach, with your mentor, with your husband, wife, even with your children. So when you discuss your excuses with someone else, then this is an extra responsibility that you are accepting, or accountability, where there is another person who is a witness of your personal improvement efforts. And that's really, really effective. Another thing you can do, you can send reports about how you deal with your excuses with your success partner. It can be your friend who is also working on their excuses. And you can share your excuses, or you can share the report. How are you eliminating or avoiding your excuses? And in this way you can help each other succeed. So these are some of the ideas about how to deal with excuses. Of course, you can come up with more ideas, and we expect you to share your ideas in our comments section below. And I have been doing, this is the 6th session, and I see that there is not such a great interest in this course. I don't see so many people watching this, but I think those who are, listening to this and who are considering these points, I think they can benefit a lot. Because excuses is a bad habit, and it's a great obstacle to success. So one who likes to be successful, he wants to, he really, he wants to work consciously on eliminating excuses. Now, to finish this short session today, I want to read something from Srila Prabhupada. A couple of his when he's mentioning excuses in his teachings. For example, Srila Prabhupada would often say that ignorance is no excuse. If child doesn't know that the fire is burning, the child will put her hand in the fire and get burned. So nature or fire doesn't consider, oh, this child is innocent or ignorant and I will not burn the child. No, the fire will burn. So the ignorance of a child doesn't excuse the child and doesn't protect the child from the consequences. So sometimes we have ignorance as an excuse, but actually, what is the panacea? What is the remedy for this? The remedy for ignorance is to learn, to hear, to be eager, to understand what should be done and what shouldn't be done. Then Srila Prabhupada would speak about excuses for not finishing rounds. And if one wants to show Krishna that he is serious about his rounds, then Srila Prabhupada said, next day, if you have not finished rounds previous day, next day, forget about sleeping and eating, finish your rounds. That is wanted, Srila Prabhupada says. So you have time for everything else, but you don't have time for chanting. Srila Prabhupada says, this is cheating. So, thank you very much for listening. This is all for today. Tomorrow we will have another session. And I will just, in a second, I will tell you what will be the topic of tomorrow's session. We will specifically speak about excuses for not preaching Krishna consciousness. This is one example of a specific excuse, and of course you can apply it to other kinds of excuses. So I wish you all the best on your journey, and Hare Krishna.